Now, you've called it Made in Heaven. Why did you call it that, Freddie?
Basically, I was lost for a title. Titles for albums are, as far as I'm concerned, immaterial. I think Made in Heaven, I didn't know what to call it. I mean, and before, I remember, you had concept albums, and then the name actually sort of had to fit. But now you just have what I think is a very beautiful track, and it's called Made in Heaven. I just think it seems to sort of just conjure up an image of some kind, and but to be honest, I'm not really worried about it. It's what you listen to that matters, and not what the title is. Don't judge a book by its cover. Mind, there's a beautiful photograph of me on the cover.
And what about Fooling Around, another track? How did that come about? What inspired that?
Fooling Around, yeah.
Yes.
That's just I wanted a track that was had a sort of a sexual element in it. It was, in terms of not in terms of lyrical content, but in terms of the rhythmic content, and that seems to have sort of a very sexual rhythm and very sexual vibe to it. And so I just wrote that in terms of saying I wanted a sexual rhythm song. That's the way that came about.
That's been taken up for a film track, hasn't
That's right. It's
The Nick Nolte,
yes. They wanted a song in the film called Teachers, and so I gave them that one.
It was very generous of you.
Well, why not?
What about Living on My Own? That sounds very personal because you travel the world more or less in a gypsy style, don't you?
Well, that is living on my own. Yes, it's like basically it's if you listen to Living on My Own, it's living. That is very me. It's living on my own but having fun. And then there's a bit in the middle where I do my scat singing, and I'm just going. And when you think about somebody like me in my lifestyle, I mean, I have to sort of go around the world and live in hotels, and that can be very lonely. But then I look upon it, and I don't want people to say, oh, I just say that's my life, and it can be a very lonely, it can be a very lonely life. But I mean, I chose it, and so that song is not dealing with people who are living on their own in sort of basement flats and things like that. It's my living on my own. So basically what I'm trying to say is that I'm living on my own, but I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I'm living on my own, and I'm having a boogie time. Basically, does that make sense, honey?
It does, yes, it does. So
it's a different kind of living on my own, but I'm just saying that people in my with my success and can be lonely and can live on their own as well.
My love is dangerous. Dangerous. My love is dangerous.
Another song, My Love is Dangerous, on the album. Is that a warning from you?
Not really. It's just well, a bit, yes. That song is something that I feel that maybe that's what my love is. I haven't actually analysed myself and said, okay, my love is dangerous. I think after all these years, I just feel like you asked, and I don't think I can. I'm not a very good partner for anybody, and I just think maybe that's what my love is. I think my love is dangerous. I mean, who wants their love to be safe? I mean, can you imagine writing a song, My Love is Safe? It would never sell. I like writing songs about love because, I mean, there's so much scope. And also, they have so much to do with me. They have so much to do with me. And you're going to talk about your kind of lover. It is something that maybe I'm striving for it. I'm trying to say that I can be somebody's lover, a good lover. And that's another aspect of me, too. Ask me something different now, come on.
Well, we got to talk about another track, because that has an amazing section on it from the Munich Philharmonic Orchestra, Mr. Bad Boy.
Mr. Bad Guy.
Mr. Bad Guy.
Yes, Mr. Bad Guy, yeah, that's me.
What made you give it this treatment with the Munich Philharmonic?
Well, I wanted a song that had absolute full orchestration, because I mean, in terms of Queen, we've always wanted a song that had full, actually genuine, a proper orchestra that came in the studio. But we always seem to sort of at the last minute, deny the fact that, that we wanted an orchestra because, I mean, in a very genuine way, because, I mean, Brian could recreate the orchestra with his guitar, and so we always had that kind of thing. And we always missed out on it, and I think you can go through all the Queen albums and find out that there isn't one song that actually had a fully fledged orchestra. And I thought, right, I'm going to do it. I'll be the first one to, because I didn't have Brian playing on my songs, and so I thought this was a wonderful opportunity. So I just had the Munich Philharmonic Orchestra come in and just go wild, and that's the outcome. So, and I'm very pleased with that. So it was just very bombastic, very pompous, and very me. And I thought I'd turn it over to being Mr. Bad Guy, you know, and just got these overtones of, you know, I can be loving and sweet at one time, and I also want people to realize that I don't think I have to ask them to realize. I mean, they know I can be bad, so and that's another element of me as well.
It's a marvelous track. It really works well.
It's
Stormer.
yes, it's quite outrageous, yeah, and I think it's new for me as well because I've actually allowed an orchestra to go absolutely mad rather than restrict them. I just said, play all the notes that you haven't played in your life before, and so they were all just went completely crazy, and so that there's basically a world war going on that track. If my record reaches you out of Mongolia, destroy it, exactly, see? Destroy it, just like that. I mean, really.
Well, Freddie, I knew you were explosive, but not that explosive.
I mean, really.
Did you know you were that explosive?
I can make a bigger bang than that, dear, I'll tell you.